Hello, listeners. You're listening to 18 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. I am Satyal.
And I'm Silwal, and we're a weekly podcast from the Himalayas.
When it's a Tuesday and it's 7:30, you know it's time for perspectives, conversations, and stories.
Today, on our 9th episode, we have Miss Nepal Asmi Shrestha, and we are going to talk about Mahabharata.
Woohoo!
Seriously, no way.
No, we're just kidding.
We're just
Asmi,
kidding.
Yes, we're taking away the crown from our head for the entire 18 minutes.
If you want to hear her interviews, go to the hundreds of interviews that she's already given.
Yeah, and while you do that, don't unsubscribe us, right? So it's more of a conversation now. So let's get started.
All right. So welcome to the show, Ashmi. How are you feeling?
Thank you so
right
much, Satyal and Silwal.
now? And we've recorded this, for the 4th or the 5th time
Yeah,
now.
to the people who think we do it at one shot, oh my god, you're so mistaken. It's
But we're
all because of
having
Silwal,
fun,
right?
But we're having fun. So.
Yeah, Ashmi knows that it's because of Silwal. So, Ashmi, how are you doing? How's life post Miss Nepal? Although we don't want to talk about Miss Nepal.
Even though you don't want me to talk about Miss Nepal, you know that I'll end up talking about it because my life is all about it right now. I've already graduated from ACE Institute of Management. I just completed my BBA. So right now I'm all focused on Miss Nepal. And I'm also preparing for Miss World. I'd say mainly I've started my physical training as well. And also आफैले अब Beauty with Purpose project को लागि researchहरू I'm doing it. And Miss Nepal, Miss World says it's going to we haven't received the exact date and venue about it, but I think it'll happen around October November. So त्यही अनुसारले चाहिँ I'm preparing myself.
Okay, based on what you said, our listeners will be thinking Ashmi has it all figured out.
No way.
But please tell us how confused you are.
No way. You confused हुने part चाहिँ I think it's very normal.
It's for all 20 year olds, I guess.
20-year-old पनि I think it'll keep on coming in life.
Right, true.
20 मा मात्रै हुनु पर्दैन. Once you've started something, I think it's very normal to be confused about it. त्यसरी नै you'll find your ways. That's what I feel, and I think अहिले पनि म जुन confused भइरहेको छु, it's completely fine because this is helping me to, do more research, meet more people, and then slowly, त्यो सबै त्यो puzzle pieces around collecting it, and hopefully I'll complete it very soon. So that's my target.
So, Silwal, have
Yes.
you had it figured out, or are you as confused as Ashmi is saying?
Yeah, as Ashmi is saying, we're all confused. I think it's good to be confused because if you're confused, you know that the answer is not there, and you're searching for that
Keep
answer.
searching for it.
And unless and until you find that answer, you'll keep searching for it. That keeps you going every day.
Yes.
And this is what our life is as well. We just try to find the answers. It does not have to be that we'll eventually find the answers. We'll be even more confused by the time we keep on searching, but at least it'll give us a picture on the life that is, and we can do whatever we want with it.
Because you talked about searching and finding, because this is one book that you recommended to me, Siddhartha. यसमा चाहिँ के भनेको छ
You're
भन्दा
welcome.
search र find को difference छ. If you are trying to search for something, you already sense that something is there and you're just trying to find that thing, right? But finding भने चाहिँ you're open to much more possibilities. भनेर भनेको छ. So searching र finding को difference is a very profound difference.
I would definitely like to read that book.
I've given her so many books. She's probably completed 2 in her life.
And while you read it, please, say that I recommended the book and not Silwal.
Okay, definitely.
Anyway, so what are you doing, and what is life to you? How do you define life?
Life is all about learning for me. मेरो लागि चाहिँ
What was the last thing that you learned?
Later, complete our answer first.
No, it definitely has to be the session of our training session during Miss Nepal. So we had 6 weeks of training, and we got to meet lots of different personalities. अनि different classes-हरु हुन्थ्यो. आफूलाई त्यो आफ्नो self त्यो finding को देखि लिएर how do you groom yourself, not just physically, makeup classes, this and that, everything was there. But हामीले अब dining etiquettes देखि लिएर, there were so many classes that we attended during that 6 weeks of training, and it was really insightful for me.
If there was one thing that you could teach to someone, just one thing out of everything that you learned, what would that one thing be?
It definitely won't be any makeup tips or beauty tips. For me, it's all about मलाई चाहिँ सबभन्दा इम्प्याक्टफुल चाहिँ मोस्ट हाम्रो त्यो ट्रेनिङको सबभन्दा धेरै टाइम चाहिँ वी स्पेन्ट विथ रचना म्यामले चाहिँ हामीलाई कोरियोग्राफी मात्रै नभइकन सी युज टु give us all those life lessons, and it was really helpful for me. So if I had to teach one lesson, then it'll be about gratitude and humility. And also about the kindness. That's the thing that I think is the most forgotten things, but it's actually the most needed one for human beings, to have a better life.
You talked about kindness, humility, and gratitude. Where have we gone wrong? How have we not become kind? Or
I think we're so
what's wrong with
busy in our everyday life that we tend to forget those simple things.
True.
So त्यहाँ जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ that's what I realized, that यति सानो सानो कुराको होइन, whatever we do त्यसको नै भ्याल्यु हुँदो रहेछ, and we have forgotten about it. And त्यही गर्दाखेरि नै त्यसैले गर्दाखेरि I think most of us were stressed out. We always keep wanting more, but we don't value the things that we have already. We forget to look around us. So that's what I realized.
I think यसलाई हाम्रो म्युजियम अफ ह्याप्पिनेसको एपिसोडसँग रिलेट गऱ्यो भने समाजले भनेको त्यही थियो, ग्रेटिट्युड इज one of the biggest determinants of happiness.
And
so
most of us have forgotten about it.
So अलिकति सक्सेसफुल हुँदै गएपछि झन् त्यो प्रोपेन्सिटी हाई हुन्छ, त्यो बिर्सिँदै जाने.
Like, before you answer that, what is success for you? How would you term your success? At the end of your life,
I feel like it's one of those Miss Nepal questions.
No.
On the stage.
Give a very honest answer.
You've already won the crown.
Thank you for the question, sir.
You've already won the crown.
No. But success for me is not about, achieving something really big. It's you can find success in every little things you do. If it gets completed in my way, and that's success for me. It doesn't have to be something big, मेरो लागि चाहिँ.
So it's accomplishing one goal that you've set for yourself, regardless of whether it's big.
One thing at a time. So.
And the other question was the propensity to be grateful and त्यो कम हुँदै जान्छ successful भएपछि.
I don't think so. If it reduces, then automatically you'll go down again. So if you have to, keep on moving forward, then whoever has kept on going, I think यो कुराहरूलाई नै त्यो आफूले internalize गरेर चाहिँ practice गरेर चाहिँ those are the ones who have reached higher. That's what I feel.
I want to frame this question in such a way that there's so many people who are not confident about their lives. Maybe someone who's listening to us is not happy right now. What can we do in order to make their lives a little better? Can you just tell them, Miss Nepal telling them, that
I'll just tell them that it's okay. म पनि, even though right now I've achieved one of the biggest dreams, Miss Nepal, that's something that I've waited for since so long.
Ever since he was a kid, she wanted to be a Miss Nepal.
Don't make fun of it. Don't make fun of it. But it's actually true,
Yeah, it's so important.
But I was, मलाई मेरो dadले tomboy बनाएर राख्नु भएको थियो. So त्यो transition phase थियो नि, from being a tomboy to being a girly girl. No, त्यो बेला Miss Nepal girly girl वाला त्यो phase मा पुगुन्जेलसम्म I used to watch Miss Nepal on TV. So त्यहाँबाट नै अब म त यहाँ थिइनँ, चितवनमा थिएँ. So TV बाटै थियो. अब यहाँ जस्तो एउटा close circle थिएन. Plus I was really young. So त्यहाँ देख्दाखेरि नै त्यही हो अब. Yeah, that's how it.
I wanna talk about one of your first ads that you've ever done. I always make fun of that.
I'm unaware of it. Please brief me on this.
Good.
You haven't?
No.
Wherever you go in Kathmandu, ice cream.
Okay. I've seen that ad.
Thank God you haven't seen the other one. Thank God.
Audience, it's.
I think the audience will stalk.
Yeah, the listeners will need to find out.
Nobody will ever find it, I guess. Hopefully, it's not on YouTube.
Like my question, I come back to reframing the question as there's so many people who are not confident about life. They're still, they think they're not good enough. I mean, I see three of us and we're very positive people and we have that self belief that we'll do something in life. There are people who lack that confidence, who are going through hardships right now. How do we tell them that things will? I know things will get better, but how can we tell them that?
I want to relate on whatever I was answering. Even though you've achieved something really big, something that you've really wanted, त्यसपछि पनि there will come, the time will come when you'll feel like you're lost again. So that's the thing. You just have to take it as a temporary phase, and तर एउटा determination चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ that you'll overcome it. You cannot give up just because the things are not working out your way. It's way of life. You have to take it that way. जति मान्छेहरू यस्तो हुन्छ कि एउटा पछि another, there's always that greed, to achieve more. So you have to just prepare yourself that it'll keep on coming, and you should not give up. That's the key.
I think it's about keep on searching or finding. I forgot the finding. So we keep on finding. So Toykinle bhaneko ni, all those who wander are not lost. Right? You have to keep searching for it. Even if you are going through a bad time right now, know that good times will come. You've experienced good times. There are bad times, and there'll be good times again.
Exactly.
Right. So how do you keep yourself very optimistic these days? Because you've reached that scale, that height of Miss Nepal.
Not yet. Still have a lot.
तर जति सक्सेसफुल हुँदै गयो त्यही रेटमा मान्छेहरूले नेगेटिभ कमेन्ट्सहरू गर्ने त्यसो नि भइहाल्छ होला हैन
त्यो त ठिकै छ हैन but you talking about हुन्छ नि you every time you talk about milestone and this was your milestone, you've achieved it. Where do you see that next milestone now?
Obviously it's Miss World, but that's pretty soon. That'll be decided on 4 to 5 months. So after that too, and then your junior Miss Nepal ko year sakincha ni, त्यसपछि चाहिँ I see myself completing my studies, and then next big dream मेरो चाहिँ I want to see myself as in the corporate world, one of the very strong women personality corporate sector. So that's the next milestone for me. अहिले त्यो मेरो लागि चाहिँ that's the next big thing that I want to achieve, and it's a long-term plan, right? So it won't come. Right
she's not saying this just because she's won Miss Nepal, and we talked, 2, 3, 4 years ago when we talked. We always had this talk about having setting this milestone. And
obviously, even though I wanted to become Miss Nepal, that was not the
big
aim for me. Miss Nepal
end goal, means goal.
So eventually, you I have to carry on with my life. So त्यो कुराले चाहिँ अब त्यही अनुसारले नै मैले build गरेर आएको.
But winning Miss Nepal is an awesome feat.
Obviously.
That was like we were sitting on the TV and we were so scared because our friend is there, and I was texting him, she's gonna win. I like predicted it.
My relatives were like, okay, you're being very selfish because साथीले जित्यो भने podcastमा बोलाउन सजिलो हुन्छ भनेर. I was like, no, we'd already talked to her. Regardless of the outcome, we'll get her. भनेर किन fans favorite त उयो भनेर भन्थ्यो.
And अब the next milestone is representing Nepal. You're not representing yourself. You're representing the entire nation.
Yes.
And this is the 21st time, you're the 21st Miss Nepal. What are your plans on Beauty with Purpose is something that we won a few years ago. How do you plan on working for that?
अब त्यही हो जित्ने बित्तिकैको 1 month I could not really focus on Beauty with Purpose project. I knew I had to prepare on that, but I didn't have enough time because of the interviews and events and also the photo shoots. And now that it's finally slowing down, it's high time for me to start focusing on the preparation. Beauty with Purpose ko लागि चाहिँ I've already selected the topic that I want to work on, and it's education. Education, because I really believe that education is the only key that will help our country to get out of the situation it is in right now. So I strongly believe that education can really, you can bring that change. I've selected this topic, but further planning is still going on.
You're yet to get into specifics of how to do that.
But
maybe
a lot of planning.
But this is so awesome because Satyal is an educator. I'm an educator as well. We love education and हामी जहिले पनि education नै change गर्नुपर्छ हामीले because there's something wrong with our education system. We don't know what it is. We're trying to still find it, right?
पाएकोहरूको जसरी पाइरहेछ त्यसमा पनि there's something wrong going on. नपाउनेहरूको त अब कुरै नगरौँ हैन, they're not even getting it, so it's a very big challenge for us.
The thing is, we are privileged enough to have gone to good schools, good colleges, but there's so many people who
still it's not enough for us.
Yes, it's still not. तर सोचन जसले पाएको छैन नि, where are we lacking behind? अनि हाम्रो human resource नै it's not up to that mark to develop this country.
And it's us who can actually bring the change. अब if we act on it right now, अब हामी पनि त्यस्तै हो हुँदैन भनेर बस्ने हो, that's never going to happen.
Okay.
I think that's why we need this positive energy.
Yes.
The entire country needs a positivity. We can do it. We have 2 legs, 2 hands. Even if you don't have a leg or a hand, we can still contribute towards something, right? Satyal, what do you think about education and how do we can make good out of it?
अहिले चाहिँ मेरो फोकस चाहिँ हेज बिन अन त्यो पाइरा मान्छेलाई बेटर गर्ने, अब नपाठाउँमा त मैले लगिरहन सकेको छैन होइन, बट आई एम श्योर आवर लिसनर्स हेभ अ लट अफ से अन द्याट एज वेल, एन्ड बिकज अस्मी इज ट्राइङ टु गेट इन टु द स्पेसिफिक्स अफ हाउ सी क्यान बेटर क्रिएट इम्प्याक्ट एन्ड टेक दिस into Miss World भनेर पनि हेरेर
मेरो चाहिँ it's more about working on the particular group who have not even received the basic education. So if you guys have any suggestion for me, then please feel to suggest
please comment on the comment box.
I'd be really grateful.
Get it out to Ashmi
and funny enough, we've come a long way that we've sometimes forgotten that the earthquake happened. Because we are privileged enough, हाम्रो घरहरु सबै ठिकै
I don't think I have forgotten about it because yesterday, it really scared me. So,
like in terms of how our country is, not performing well, अनि त्यसमाथि earthquake आएको थियो, economic blockage, you can term it whatever it was, but our country was blocked for a certain time, right? अनि त्यो सबै हेर्दाखेरि it saddens me when people are leaving abroad, packing their bags and just leaving abroad.
I mean, it's still the negativity we're living in. It's not everyone who survives it. So who does not, they prefer to live.
And we have to somehow, हामी बसेको मान्छेहरूले नै केही गर्नु पर्यो.
Yes.
अनि don't take this as Miss World को लागि मात्रै prepare गरेर, but this is a long plan that you're setting out on trying to impact lives, right? So Satyal, any last words from you on our Mr. He's so awestruck right now, he's not even being
I'm not.
Because Buddha said if your mouth is open, you're probably not learning, so I've been learning a lot. But it's awesome that Ashmi made the time to come to our show and talk. We talk a lot about positivity, and maybe this podcast सुनिरा मान्छेको कानमा चाहिँ एउटा अलिअलि कहीँबाट पोजिटिभ बज आएको भन्ने हामी आशा गर्छौँ.
We all have that energy to make change, right?
So Ashmi, thank you so much for making it to 80 minutes with Satyal and Silwal.
Thank you guys. It definitely was one of the most interesting interviews that I've ever given. I enjoyed it.
So listeners, that was 18 minutes with Satyal and Silwal with Asmi Shrestha. We hope you had a lot of takeaways from this episode. We'll be back again next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Until then, do subscribe, like, share on your social media.
And one last thing,
it's never too late to start. Hey, Miss Nepal, selfie.
Kids photo लिया.